to be a relaxed conversation, but we definitely do have things that we want to talk about, and those things that we're going to talk about are right on your screen. Harry Maguire, contract extension. Is it incoming? Is he willing to take a pay cut to do that? What are your thoughts on him at the moment and his performances? We're also going to talk about Son Lamont and how impressive he's been, and the underlying metrics behind that. We've got a bit of transfer news in regards to Angelo Steele. Sam might take his pants off. And also, Joshua Zirkzee to West Ham is the latest kind of thing that's circulating at the minute, although, you know, it could just be one of those days where people are a little bit bored and they don't have much to talk about, which I imagine it probably is, but no doubt about it, Zirkzee is a lack of game time for him at the moment, so one way or another, we're going to have a conversation about his future. But we'll start with Harry Maguire, Sam. Obviously, in the headlines at the minute, for good reasons rather than bad reasons, because there has been times, especially earlier on, when that was the case. Simon Stone reporting before that Harry Maguire is willing to take a pay cut to sign a contract extension at Manchester United. We also had Steve Bruce, who was on Paul Scholes' podcast, speaking about him as well, saying he basically how he was made for a scapegoat for everything that was going wrong at the club. He doesn't think he's ever disappointed, and he thinks that goal will stay with him for a long, long time. And it kind of encapsulated what he's been doing really for the past kind of couple of years for us. I know we had a bit of a sticky start. We've spoken about the redemption arc quite a lot, Sam. And we'll get into his massive moments as a player shortly, but how much respect has he earned with yourself?
There was another little bit from Chris Wheeler. I don't know if you saw that.
Go for it.
Regarding his news. So Man United are yet to. They are in regular contact with him, but formal talks have yet to take place. There is no offer on the table.
No.
Any prospect of Maguire taking a pay cut would depend on the length of the contract being offered. So I imagine if they offer him a year, he's not going to take a wage cut. I'd imagine that
like a rolling contract, so it all depends on that.
So, but if they offered him 3 years, maybe he would. I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems like it was saying. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that little detail in there because it came out like about 20 minutes ago. When we first got him, I think we all spoke, didn't we? Where we're like, it's £80 million. That is a lot of fucking money. A lot of money, especially for a centre back. Yeah. And I think Van Dijk went for, was it 72? Like a few weeks before, or it might have been January or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they'd buy him in January, actually, wasn't it? Van Dijk, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we could talk about Van Dijk if you want as well, and how shit of a game he had yesterday.
Spend an hour on that.
That is maybe a topic for later on. But
yeah,
I mean, the price point probably always was a bit of a stumbling block for a lot of people, which is not his fault. Like, he didn't choose to be saying that. But the same thing happened to Anthony, didn't it? He got judged with the pressure of 90 million euros.
Price tag 6 for you.
Unfortunately, yeah. And I think we were expecting a Van Dijk level defender for that kind of money. Whereas if you look back on it, in the fact that he was in a back three at Leicester, the level doesn't suggest, like, the level suggests 40 million, doesn't it? Maybe.
But I think that at the time that would have been a fair price. Yeah. I think I'd probably.
And obviously we had absolute idiots in charge of negotiating at the time, which is why we paid that amount. So the pressure was already there when he came in. And then what I think didn't help was the fact that Ollie handed him the captaincy within a minute of him arriving. That's another level of pressure added. And you're just like, if this doesn't work, this is going to look like an absolute disaster, because you've handed him the captaincy, you've paid him 80 million. Paid 80 million for him. He's on a decent wage, as far as I know, and you're expecting levels from him. And while he had a good season, and that European final, we definitely missed him. I think had he been in that European final, maybe it would have gone a better way. I mean, he could definitely take a fucking penalty. We know that. So that
weirdly enough, because he doesn't look like the type of guy who would bomb a penalty.
But he's got a fucking hell of a penalty on him. Maybe would have won. I remember a lot of chatter about, we need Maguire. Like, he had an ankle injury or something. I can't remember what it was.
It was,
yeah. And after that, it kind of went downhill a bit, didn't it? For a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of moments of what Chivio called bozo moments, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
And he just looked out of his depth, out of his mind. I think a lot of us were going, he needs to leave. Like, he needs to go. And I don't think many people were sticking up for him or saying, like Steve Bruce's comments. I don't think a lot of people were saying that at the time. I think a lot of people were saying the pressure's too much, this and that. captaincy got removed from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good time at the minute. So I think that was where I was like, yeah, he needs to go. Like, he absolutely needs to go. I don't know what your feelings were at the time, but I was like, he has to go.
Yeah, it was sad, really, wasn't it? Because he became, I felt like a little bit of a meme. Like, everyone was
Phil Jones, wasn't it?
It was Phil Jones levels, yeah, maybe even more. I mean, you saw the kind of data that come out, and everyone, he was like the most abused player on social media and stuff. I actually think his situation is quite unique. I think I read something the other day that if someone hasn't been following him around with a camera and isn't making a documentary on Harry Maguire, they should have done by now. Because, I mean, if Netflix was all over that, it'd be not just for the purpose of like, oh, wait, it's going to get loads of views. I just mean it's such an interesting, unique story that what he's been through. And I think that's why now you're seeing so many people give him his flowers, because a lot of people would have crumbled under the pressure that was happening at United. I mean, we can't even imagine it. I mean, we get sometimes we'll go back and forth in comment sections on social media or whatever.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a riff and it gets a bit thinger. Think about that times by a million. Do you know what I mean? A million, millions and millions.
I imagine there's some dickheads who will come up to him in the street as well and say stuff to his face. Like, I can imagine that happening.
Was he getting like bomb threats and stuff?
I remember that. I remember that. That's just ridiculous.
Like, things like that. Like, at what point would you not just turn around and go, it's not fucking worth it. Just move club. Easier time.
Less pressure.
I can't be arsed with it. Less pressure. I'm still getting paid. I can play my football just without all this fucking racket in my ears. But in credit to him, you know, he's looking through it.
It was looking like he was going to go with West Ham the other summer.
Yeah, close. He was off like 30, was it? And he like pay cuts and such.
And he was looking close, and we were all like, yeah, maybe it's the best for him. Like you said, maybe that's the best sort of option for him to get away from the pressure. London's a good place to live. Maybe he can get back in the England team, because he was at the England team at that point as well, wasn't he? Because there's certain things. And then, since then, if we just touch on the clutch goals, like, just look at the goals that he's provided for us, the minute winners, like Leon, Leicester.
Hold yourself, because we're going to get into them. Don't worry.
Right. I won't say the goals, but like, and then he started doing, like, especially in the back three, there was certain performances where you're like, actually, he looks pretty good here. Like, solid. He was winning headers. He was getting into tackles. Like, he's a big lad, and he was getting into some really good tackles and getting hold of the ball. And people started getting behind him. Like, people started going, especially at United. Like, we never booed him at United, but I remember England fans booing him. I remember that. Yeah, that was like
that
a bit shocking
moment as well. With the fingers in the ears.
But United fans never wavered every time he came on the pitch, and it almost felt, what's the word? Pity. Almost, you know, when people go, "Ray," like, get behind him because he's
like,
do you know what I mean?
Ironic chance kind of thing. Yeah.
Like. And then he started putting in performances, and we started noticing it. And a lot of people on our comments and other content makers have said, yeah, but he's still not good in this. He's still not good in that. And I'm like, yeah, he might have his drawbacks. He might have his flaws in certain systems and stuff. But in this back three, he's solid. He's fucking dependable. Yeah. And I don't see many games where he's coming out and he's absolute shit to bed. Like, I think he's an absolute fantastic player in the system. And yeah, he's not 80 million, but I think some of the performances, the leadership without the armband, the coaching of like young players like Fredrickson, Yoro, I imagine as well. Like, I think he's been, for the last 2 seasons, I think he's been one of our better players, if not in the top 3.
It's always about I mean, we say it so many times, but the example it sets for other kids coming through as well. Like, it must be such a nice thing to be so young and maybe having some difficulties, whether it is with, you know, kind of online abuse or whatever it may be. I mean, there's a lot of things that could potentially be going on, but to speak to someone like him, he just seems very level-headed as well. And any of the interviews that I've done, I mean, he's been criticised before of maybe being overly polished or kind of overly media trained, which I get can rub off on some people.
Most players are like that, though. Yeah, like, if you listen to Luke Shaw most of the time, he's quite sort of polished.
You want to see a bit more. I don't know if it's like an English thing, because you listen to like South Americans when they've been, like, you can see like the passion coming through them and how they're fiery, like Cunha or Alessandro. So maybe it is a cultural thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I just think it's very impressive what he's done, and I would not be opposed to if he wants to stay for another year or 2 or 3, having that experience around the club, because we always talk about the things that we see on the pitch and things we don't like or things that we do like, but the intangible things that you can't see and you don't know what's going on. I imagine he'd have a big presence and it'd be really, really important for that dressing room.
He's like, he'd be like the new Johnny Evans almost, wouldn't he? Like Johnny Evans came back and he gave that experience. He gave that sort of like pathway to academy players saying, look, I've been there, done it, and now I've come back. And now he's obviously moved into that loans role. But like Maguire could do that. So like you said, new players come in or like young players come through the academy. He's been from the bottoms. Like I think he started at, is it Sheffield United or Hull? Yeah. And then he went to Hull, who, I don't know if anybody's ever watched Hull play, but it's not a fun experience to watch Hull play. No, shit. Obviously he got picked up, went to Leicester, who at the time weren't doing great. Obviously there was a few years removed from the title win and stuff like that. No. And then obviously United is the biggest step up, became one of England's most important players at the time as well. Like he's been through it. And then like you said, he's had that dip of like abuse and playing like shit, not getting played at all at times as well. I remember when he wasn't getting played like at all, like in that Ten Hag bit. So he's been there and done it. That he might not have as many trophies to show for it like Johnny Evans done, but he's definitely been through experiences that young players can sort of take and relate to. And like a couple of young players who probably could learn that lesson, like Garnacho, do you know what I mean? Like went through a dip and decided, nah, I'm not staying, I'm going to leave. Yeah. And it's gone to Chelsea and it's going swimmingly, isn't it? Apparently getting hooked at half time regular. So, do you know what I mean? Like it's sometimes you have to ride the storm out. Like sometimes that's the option.
I think it's based on systems as well and getting the best out of your players, because, you know, if you was to put someone like, I don't know, you saw the kind of rough period that Nottingham Forest are going through at the minute. They've gone from like one opposite to the other. They've gone from really pragmatic, safe counter-attacking football under Nuno and just this whirlwind of shit that's gone on. And
now you're going Sean Dyche. Now you're going to Sean Dyche, where it's just like low block, completely like no other things.
But they've got centre-backs like Milenkovic. You're pushing right on the halfway line, who's not the quickest, but ask him to defend in the box and he'll do the job. I think the similar thing with Maguire. Now we're playing that kind of back five system. You've got centre-backs either side of him with a bit of pace. You've got him, you can just defend his box and crack on. And you rarely seen him, I don't know if you'd agree, 1v1 with a player where a player isolates him. And I think that at times is where he would struggle.
That's not his game, is it? That's it's not his game.
And also as well on build up, sometimes like teams would really press him, and he'd fuck up a little bit. But I don't know. It just seems like he's got a better network around him now, and it seems like there's a lot more stability and obviously experience due to the situations that he's already been through at the moment. So and he's 31, 32 now, so he's a prime English centre back, and I think it'd be very interesting to see what happens with the World Cup, because I don't think he's featured under Tuchel much.
Not yet. Not so far.
Recently.
No.
It's been Konsa and Gay, I think.
Yeah.
So do you think he deserves that opportunity still? I mean, you imagine he'd still be in the squad, right?
I would take him. Like, I'd definitely take him to the World Cup. Like, I think he's a viable player to have, not just as a defender, but imagine you need to, like, the way he's been used almost at United. Like, imagine you need to get a winner and you got a corner and you've got Harry Maguire to bring on, get his big Barnet on it, like he's done for us, like you're going to get into in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, he's a useful player to have, like, to do that. And then say you need to rest like a Gahey or a Gonza, people like that, or provide a bit of experience or something, then I think he's a very useful player. Like Mason Mount, I know he's not featured under Tuchel yet, but if he carries on the way he's going, I think he would be another one who you've got to look at in terms of taking to the World Cup as well, because I think he could be a really good player for us.
Well, we've got a few players like that. I mean, Mainu, Chuck in there as well.
Yeah.
T2's in the chat saying, evening lads, I haven't always rated his footballing quality, but his mentality is absolutely elite. Have to respect what he's done. I wouldn't be mad if he stayed in a Johnny Evans type role. I have to agree with that. And Happy Life saying, Harry is a very important player for us. Of course, he's not the future in the club, but we need him for the now. Thank you very much for those comments. Please do leave a like in the video for us and subscribe if you're just tuning in now or tuning in a little bit later on. What we're going to do, Sam, is I'm going to ask you to blind rank Harry Maguire's best moments in a Man United shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
So we will start off with 90+1 injury time equaliser versus Porto in the Europa League. Do you remember it?
Yeah, that was a mad game.
The game where Samu was just tearing De Ligt and Lissandro apart.
Yeah, that was that was a really terrible game because we were up like 2-0 within like a matter of like half an hour or something.
Yeah.
And then we just chucked it away completely.
Yeah. But how many games like that under 10? That happened so many times. These 8 of these, by the way. So
yeah. Oh, there's 8 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Did Onana make a mistake in that one?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Diego Costa for them made
the Rashford
near
goal.
post twice. There was a Højlund one and a Rashford one where he fucked up. So
I'll put that 7.
Okay.
Because it was a draw. It wasn't a win, and there wasn't any stakes really. So
fair.
7.
I think that's fair. Again, people welcome to join in if you want to. Next up, 121st minute winner versus Lyon in the Europa League quarterfinal.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really fucking good one.
And this is opinion based as well, of course.
Yeah, I was really excited by that. Like, that really got me going. Like, Cobby and then that goal. Like, I was fucking, oh my God, United are back. Like, this is amazing.
Let's fucking go. Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. That was like Ahmad levels of goal against Liverpool.
That was incredible.
I'll put it 2 just because I think I know what my number 1 will be. I'll put it 2.
Okay. Number 2, not a bad start. Next up, 93rd minute winner versus Leicester, FA Cup 4th round, 7th of February 2025.
It was good. I'll go 6. It was a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Number 6. Okay, what have we got next? 84th minute winner against Liverpool at Anfield to break the 10-year drought.
That's number 1. It's number 1.
Number 1. And that's not even recency bias.
Maybe it's, I was going to say, maybe it's recency bias, but I don't care.
We don't care.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, ask me in 6 months' time, it might change. Who knows? Late header versus Ipswich Town. So we scored in, we weren't a late header, but we scored in the 47th minute, but we went down to 10 men, I believe. But we went on to win it, so it was kind of a key contribution. So make of that whatever you will.
I've got 8 and 7.
8, 5, 4, 3. You've got.
I'll go 6 with that one.
Okay, so Ipswich. Oh no, Leicester's in number 6. You put Leicester in number 6.
So what have I got? I got
8, 5, 4, 3. I said
8, 5, 4, 3. 5. Yeah.
Ipswich at number 5. Knee problem. Equaliser versus Grimsby Town.
Oh, that's last because that game was fucking abysmal. Sorry, Harry. You tried, but Jesus Christ, I don't want to ever think about that game ever again. And we lost on penalties. So, yeah.
His first goal of the season against Tranmere, where he smashed it top bins.
That's a good fucking goal. That was a good goal. Is that? I've got 5 left.
4 and 3. You've got left.
4. Let's go 4.
4. Tranmere in there. It was a belter, that, to be fair.
Yeah. And
then there's one more. I don't know where it's gone. It's gone off the thing. I might have to just do 7. There was definitely one more moment that he had where I was like, holy shit. Yeah. I'll chuck one in there just for the last one. The England penalty was pretty. Was it England or United? Top bins.
England.
Euro.
Yeah, it was at Euros. And it's then Sancho and Rashford missed, didn't they?
Yeah, so top bins in the final, wasn't it? I think.
But whatever's left.
3rd. Yeah. So, Anfield number 1.
Yeah.
Lyon number 2. Top bins in the final 3. Tranmere 4. Ipswich 5. Leicester 6. Porto 7. Grimsby 8. I think you've done pretty fucking good on that.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that even if you was just doing that just normal rankings, you knew that it was there.
That's probably the ranking I'd do it, to be honest.
Pretty spot on. Let us know your thoughts on that, guys, on socials. Moving on, the conversation onto Saint Lamont, someone else who's really impressing at the moment, Sam, and the stats back it up. So, according to data, Saint Lamont has the best save percentage of any goalkeeper in the Premier League this season. Now, obviously, it's a small sample size because he's only played a couple of games. But 88.9% as opposed to David Raya on 83% and Rolfs, the Sunderland goalkeeper. Sorry.
Roofs in it? Is it not Robin Roofs?
I have no idea how to pronounce it.
I think it's Roofs.
He's on 81%, but still an incredible start. And then you look at it in isolation against Liverpool. 5 saves, 4 inside the box, 2 diving saves, 2 high claims, 1 punch, 55 touches, and 1.33 goals prevented. Do you think we found an absolute gem of a goalkeeper here, or do you think it's too early to get a little bit excited?
I think it's far too early to say he is a gem of goalkeeper, but what we did say in the group chat the other day is like how much of a difference it makes when you've got a competent goalkeeper. the relief that those defenders must be feeling at the time, like when they see a ball coming like from a cross or a corner, and they go, "Nah, the goalie's got this. He'll go in this,"
100%.
and he does. And they like, right, cool, we can next phase of play and we can move on. Or they know they pass it back and he's not gonna panic or he's not gonna think, and he'll try and get the ball out quickly. If not, he can go long and hit a man. Obviously, that's how we got the goal. That's how that started. So I imagine the confidence and the relief and the sort of like Carl Anker said it best, didn't he? On Talking to Devils, I feel calm.
Yeah.
I feel safe. Sorry, that's what he said, didn't he? I feel safe.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like when you got a competent goalie, it just makes things so much easier, doesn't it? Like, can you imagine?
No anxiety.
Do you remember how you feel when Onana or Bayinde was in there? Do you remember how you felt?
Every single game. Every single one. And he always mentioned the players in that.
How do you feel now? How do you feel now?
Yeah, it just like literally no. It's not even a thought that passes me mind now when I see the lineup. It's like, yeah, he should be there. It suits him. Yeah, fits him.
Yeah, and he's made some decent saves so far. Like the feet save he did for
Isaac.
Isaac was a good thing. He came out and made himself. Yeah. He came out, made himself big against Salah, who skied it. Yeah. Maybe he would have skied it anyway, but I think that does help, like puts him off. And yeah, just corners and set pieces. Like I feel so much calmer and so much easier with him in that. Like, and he's like you said, he's not even a world class goalie. Maybe he will become one, but he's not even a world class goalie yet. Like he's not Donnarumma and he's not that sort of level. But just having somebody who is 7 out of 10 than a 4 out of 10 just makes things so much better. And now, like, he's probably the first, like, you don't even question, like, who's going to play in net now, do you? Because we remember we were like, is it Onana, Bayinde? Do we put Tom Heaton in? Do we call Radel for tech back? Like, what do we do?
And that in itself would almost breed anxiety, wouldn't it? And just not knowing who's going to be there. No consistency at all. And I bet the centre-backs are thankful for it as well.
Yeah.
Because they're...
was it Delict or something who said it in the post-match interview? He was doing some quotes. He was like, Senny's come in and he's just absolutely smashed it. Like in training, he's showing up. And there was a report saying he comes in on days off and stuff to work on stuff like.
Yeah, because I don't think you can overlook the effect it would have if you're a defender and you've had an incredible performance for 88 minutes and you watch what your goalkeeper fucking chuck it in the back of the net. You're probably thinking, what's the fucking point? Like, I'm playing so well, and then clean sheet
I've scored a goal.
Gone, because that fucking idiot is chucking it in the back of the net every 2 seconds. So having someone there who can deal with it. I mean, the bar's so low. When he claimed a cross at Old Trafford, he got cheered like he's just scored the winning goal.
They were chanting, "Are you Schmeichel in disguise?"
Yeah, that's how low the bar has been with our goalkeepers, and he's only young. I mean, he's 23. One thing I will say is, I think it's going to be important to back him when he does, because no doubt he's going to have a shaky moment.
He'll make a mistake.
Something will happen. Like Yoro with Southampton, for example. He had that one game where you're like, oh, fucking hell. And then since then, he's just kind of kicked on. So equally, when he does have a bad game, back him and don't start saying, oh, it's Bayinde in disguise or Onana or whatever. Like, you've got to kind of keep it level.
We saw it with De Gea when he first came to the club. He was skinny. He was getting bullied on corners and stuff like that. He was making mistakes, but then became arguably one of the best goalkeepers in Europe for a period of time. So it's very rare when a goalie comes in and they're just like good and they don't really make mistakes. Like Van der Sar is probably the one that comes to mind where you're just like, I don't remember him making a mistake. He probably did. But I don't remember one. Like nothing stands out in my mind where I can name about 5 off the top of my head with Onana. I can name another 5 with Bayinde. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very rare that they come in. So yeah, you're right. When he does make a mistake, back him and just like it happens. It's football. Like keepers make mistakes. Alisson's made mistakes. It happens. Like Donnarumma will make a mistake for City, I'm sure. Like so, yeah. But I'm so happy, man. Like goodbye. Decent price, and he's come in and he's looked competent, and that's all I wanted from a goalie. That's
23
really all I wanted.
Well. Like he could be taking Courtois' spot when he eventually kind of moves on, which is interesting.
Courtois was he's a big fan of him as well, didn't he? He spoke on him. He said he's a really good one to look at, and if you're getting compliments from Courtois, then you're doing something right, aren't you?
Seems like a modest lad as well. I know Laurie was talking about the interview that he did with him and how well he spoke, and I think that's one of the main things to not kind of get carried away with the performance. Like, oh, you've done well, but it's been 2 games. Like, if you finish the season, you're still dropping those kind of consistent performances. Maybe you can look back and go, okay, right, we've got something to work up there. That's cool.
Imagine we had him at the beginning of the season. imagine where it might be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be much better. But I'm just glad he's in the team now, and we didn't start the season without one. Because I mean, when did we get that deal done? Le Mans, was it?
Right at the very end, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like right in the final
like
week or something.
Bayern Day, so I'm actually glad we went out and fucking got one, and he's here.
It looked like we weren't going to get one, didn't it? Like he was sort of rumored at the beginning, and then we heard nothing, and then it started picking up pace towards the end of the window, and we ended up doing the deal. So
yeah, thank God, because he's been an absolute star. James McGoggan saying the crazy thing is with Le Mans is surely the defense don't trust him 100% yet. They just feel better. It's not one of the other two plonkers, and we can see the difference already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy Life saying, I'd like to thank Le Mans. I'd like to think Le Mans will be a great goalkeeper in the future, but we need to give him time. Also agree with that. Junior Gabba said, would you take Steeler for 43 million in January? You've just given me the perfect segue, Junior, so thank you very much for that. So Sky Sports News Deutschland, I think it is, are reporting that Manchester United are interested in Angelo Steeler. Stuttgart value him at 43 million internally. Listen, there's no doubt there's going to be heavy investment in that area.
I mean, there better be. There better.
I hope
be.
so. If there isn't, then I don't know what's going on. But you don't know what's going to happen with Casemiro. You don't know what's going to happen with Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to go for a couple of players here and go quite big, like they did with the attack?
I think they have to. Like you have to. Like we've said since last year. I think.
Yeah, feels like every season we fucking say
every season the midfielder. I mean, sometimes we get a midfielder in, but it's never the one that actually we need or the profile that we need, or you know what I mean. Like Casemiro in his first season was fantastic and showed his quality, but since then he's had ups and downs.
Yeah,
Bruno has been pulled all over the pitch from 8 to 6 to 10 and stuff like that. So it's just that's irritating. Kobbie Mainoo just can't seem to get in the team at the minute for whatever reason. I mean, that's another conversation entirely. Toby Collier's gone on loan. Ugarte, I don't think he's the one. I really don't. I think he has things that he's good at, but I don't think he's the solution to this problem. So yeah, that needs sorting. And you would argue, like you said, if Casemiro leaves, he's in the final year of his deal. If Bruno leaves, there's rumours about him after the World Cup going to Saudi and taking the money. Yeah. If them two leave, you're going to have to rebuild that midfield, because if you got left then, you've got Kobbie, Ugarte, Collier comes back, and then you're looking at the youth team like...
Fucking hell, I forgot about him.
And then you've got looking at the youth team like Sekou Kone and the Fletcher brothers and stuff like that. So you're going to need investment in there. So whether that's Belieber, Steeler, I know Elliot Anderson's been mentioned, Adam Wharton's been mentioned. Like, I know there's loads of things, but you need to get two of those. Like, in my opinion, and it needs to be the right profile of two. Like, don't just go get two playmakers. Like, you need to get the two right players, especially if you're going to play this system. If you're going to play 3, then you can sort of do a bit something different. But as long as Amrin's going to be here, it's going to be a 2, isn't it?
Well, I look at how refreshing the attack is at the minute. I know they're not fully clicking just yet, and I know people might look at the stats and saying, well, they're not bagging loads of goals, but it is definitely night and day improvement on when Garnacho, Højlund, and whoever else was playing in there. It's just a world of difference. So if they can have the same impact and same accuracy on the recruitment in the midfield and bring in a Belieber, Wharton, Steeler, for example, I think you really will start seeing like a proper team then. And Amrin's kind of vision coming to fruition. But what do you like about Steeler? Because you spoke about him quite a bit, haven't you? Kind of in the past couple of months, and Stack was another one as well, wasn't he?
So the two players I looked at when we were doing this sort of midfield sort of assessment and stuff like that. Obviously, Belieber's been mentioned, Wharton's been mentioned, Anderson's down the conversation. I think those are quite obvious names. Not saying they aren't great players, because they are. Like, they're really, really good players. Anderson especially stepped up tremendously in the last couple of months. So yeah, tremendous players. But Premier League, 2 English, and obviously Belieber's Cameroonian.
Cameroon? Correct.
Yeah. But they're in the Premier League, so they're going to cost a fair penny. So in terms of sort of monetary value and that quality, I was looking abroad, and Bundesliga, you can get good value for money now. So Anton Stack's gone to Leeds for just under 20, I think.
Yeah,
20 million,
deal.
Which
very good deal.
Phenomenal deal. And he's looked one of their best players.
Especially if they stay up. If Leeds stay up,
I mean, if they go down, let's snatch him. Let's take him. I'll happily do that. But and then Steeler was the other one I looked at, and I think Madrid have sniffed around him. Bayern Munich, obviously, are sniffing around him because there was sniff around. By the way, we were like, oh, Bayern Munich going to sign Voltemada, and now he's ended up at Newcastle.
Yeah, so
I remember that.
At the time that we did it, we were speaking about like him as an option, even when Karl Anker, do you remember him doing that article on strikers? Yeah. And Voltemada was a name that we mentioned. And literally we said, oh, it wouldn't surprise us if after this, Bayern Munich get with him. Maybe do the same thing again. Wouldn't surprise me.
Bayern
Munich, Steeler. Wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah, in terms of the play, he's very different to Carlos Believer. So Carlos Believer is an all-action sort of, not quite a destroyer, but like he gets involved, tackles, box to box and stuff like that. He can carry it. He's physical. He likes to get involved. He had better performance as well at the weekend. He's been under par, but I think he had a really good performance.
We play them next as well, which is interesting.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we'll get onto that another day because I don't want to think about that.
Performance incoming.
Yeah, and a goal probably.
Yeah.
So he's very different, Steeler. So he's more of a deep line playmaker. So think Carrick, think that kind of thing. So he'll sit deep, he'll pick out passes.
Matic,
he's not very physical. Like he's not a massive guy. Like he's not small, but he's not huge. But his passing range is fantastic. Short range, long range. He's good on set pieces. He could score a couple of goals. But yeah, his intelligence and his vision is really, really good. Like I love the way he sort of plays. And Stuttgart in the last couple of seasons been flying, like absolutely flying. They've had a load of players pinched from them as well.
Voltemada was one of them, I think.
Voltemada was one of them.
Yeah.
Sebastian Hoeneß, the coach, I really rate him. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's going to go somewhere big at some point. Probably Bayern when they fire Company at some point. They'll probably pinch him. So yeah, I really, really like him. If you just go look at him on YouTube and his vision of passing, like his ability to take the ball out the air, his ability to receive balls and sort of work away with it. Yeah, it seems like he's got all the time in the world when he's on the ball. Well, obviously you don't, but it's probably a little less high pressure in the Bundesliga, but I think it could work. I definitely think he could work it out when he comes to the Premier League. I think he's got the intelligence to do that. So yeah, I really, really like him. And 43 million, I think, is a really good price because that's probably half of what you're probably going to pay for Wharton. It's a third of what you probably play for Belieber. I don't know how much Anderson is being valued at, but it's probably less than him. Yeah. So it might be an option where if you go for one of these Premier League guys and then you go for Steeler and you sort of save a bit of money and then you can maybe address the right back issue or some other issue that you want to do.
Well, they did the exact same thing in the attack. They got Šeško from the German league, and then they bought Prem Proven with them Boomer and Cunha, right? So
Ekitike's from the Bundesliga, absolutely smashing it. He's going to be pissed off, isn't he? He must be pissed off.
We're cursed with the German league, or typically back in the day we was. You know, whenever Jadon Sancho, Kagawa, Mkhitaryan, it's probably more that just haven't worked out for us. But then all the other clubs who've done there, like Liverpool and City, have had so many good steals, like Gundogan, Akanji at the time for 15 million was great. Ekitike was fucking insane. Haaland was one. So yeah, I'm all for it. I'm gonna have to watch him a little bit more because I haven't seen him, which is why I specifically asked you about him. But I'll take something like a blend of both. I think I'd be okay with. And to be honest, this recruitment team at the minute, anyway, it's like
smashing it.
Yeah,
smashing
it. Well, doing well.
Who would you pick? Who would you be your ideal? Like, who would you like to see? If say Bruno Casemiro leave, who would you go get?
I still really like Belieber. Specifically for this system, but it can't just be him on his own. No. There has to be someone else alongside him. And maybe it will be Mainu and Belieber together. I could see that potentially working.
Would you go get a young player then to bring in? Because obviously you're losing Bruno and Casemiro, so you're gonna have to bring. Maybe you go get a youthful sort of product.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Or do you promote somebody like Sekou Kone up to the first team?
Potentially. I just think you need numbers in there because you're going to lose players. We already need players in there anyway. So it needs good, solid investment in there and people to come in and hit the ground running. So one Prem Proven, one maybe from Europe around like Steeler, and then maybe look at like an understudy to kind of come up through there as well. I think that'd probably be the perfect
Well, we looked at that. We've signed that guy from... Is it Colombia?
Colombia, yeah.
Yeah, or Zocco.
Or Ecuador.
Is it Ecuador?
Maybe. I don't know.
Sorry,
South American country, right?
Christian Ozoko won it for $1 million.
Something like that. Youngster who's supposed to be like the next Casado, won it?
Yeah. So
the tagline.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
He obviously comes next year, so yeah, be interested to see how he develops.
And who knows? You don't know what's going to happen in January. So I mean, Junior Gabba's speaking about Job Bellingham there. He wants game time. I mean, he's not getting minutes at Dortmund for whatever reason. He seems like a talent. United was looking at him when he was at Sunderland. So yeah, you've got options there. Chris Rigg was another one from Sunderland who he was looking at. Although I think he might be a little bit more of an attacking player. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. From transfer news to players who are kind of on the fringe at the minute, Sam, Joshua Zirkzee is an option apparently for West Ham as they look to sign a new striker that would face competition from several Italian clubs. We know there's quite a few in Italy who would happily take him there, which I understand. That's from Alex Crook, though. I think Romano's recently reported as well that he wants to work hard at United or wants to kind of earn his spot back, which is, again, absolutely fine. But it seems that Amorim clearly doesn't rate him, does he? Like it, not maybe not as a footballer, but in this system, he doesn't want to seem to give him minutes. Why do you think that is?
He can't find a place for him, can he? He just can't seem to. Like, it doesn't seem like he wants to play him in the 9 because it's obviously Šeško who's the sort of first choice, I would say. And then when he's not playing Šeško, he's sticking Cunha up there. He's put Mount up there. So you'd think, that might be the time where Zirkzee comes in and he plays, but obviously he didn't. And then you're like, can he play in one of those 10 positions? But again, he's not been used there. Mount's been there, Mbumo's been there, Ahmad's been there, Bruno's been there. So it just doesn't seem like he has a position where Amorim thinks, that's where he fits or that's where he's going to play. And then like we've said so many times, we don't have Europe. We're obviously out of the Carabao Cup. The rotation is very minimal. It's 1 game a week. So when's he going to play? So I don't blame him saying like he wants game time. Kobbie Mainoo's in the same boat. I don't blame him, but it's a shame because I do like him. I think he's got some really good talent and things that I like about him. But at the minute, that attacking front is performing quite well.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you change it, or why would you bring somebody out and put him in because they're working well? If somebody starts faltering or not quite working, then okay, maybe you could then have an argument. You could say, try Zirkzee because this guy's not working. But at the minute, I think he's working quite well. So unfortunately for Zirkzee, because the manager didn't bring him in, he's found himself on the outside, which is a shame. But it happens in football, unfortunately.
The weird thing is, the team that we played on Sunday, the mighty Liverpool, I actually think someone like him would be good for them because I look at Salah plays his best football when he's got kind of a facilitator in front of him as that kind of one, Firmino, which you saw. And Gakpo's another one as well on the opposite side. He wants to do the same thing as what Salah wants to do, cut in and shoot and get a goal. So someone like him there, I think, would be great. With us, it seems like he's not great in the air. So when Le Mans is going long, he's not one to kind of, win that aerial.
Which is weird because he's a big lad. Like he's a big lad, but
he's a bit like stiff a little bit in that sense where he's like he's not got that athletic ability to jump and win a football. He hasn't got the pace to run in behind like Šeško has, so you can't do that. So everything comes towards like himself. He's like a magnet almost, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that can work sometimes with players like Mbumo making them runs. But it feels like everything becomes very compact in the middle then, especially when you've already got inside forwards who were there and Bruno trying to push up.
There's no width, is there?
Everything's just like isolated and stuck as one. So that's why I think, because I always say Chivi's like, I don't know why he isn't playing. He should be playing as a striker. And I'm like, I just think it would become very crowded in those central areas if he plays. And maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm not a manager, but it's just kind of a thought.
It'd be interesting if a journalist could ask as well, like, what is it about Zirkzee that's
wishing on a star there, mate, though, aren't you? With the majority of questions that get asked in presses nowadays.
Nobody's asked him about these centre-backs, have they, still?
No.
Nobody's asked him.
It'd be great to ask him about that. And as well, like, tactical importance in certain games, like, people are saying, why do you think the team performed better against bigger teams? Is it a systematic thing where it flourishes more? Because when you've got to take it to teams, and Bruno and Cass have got to step up a little bit, they seem to target it, and managers have mentioned that. Why do you think that is? That's what I'd ask, things like that. But,
I mean, that is an intelligent question, and it just doesn't seem like most journalists want to ask an intelligent question.
Some of them ask really good ones.
Some of them do,
Some of them do, but some of them...
Like, people from The Athletic really good questions.
Apart from
Everybody
that,
else just seems to ask stupid shit.
Why do you think Rashford's doing this and doing that?
Oh, what do you think of Højlund scoring a goal? Like, he's not at the club. Why are you asking? Like, ask about the people at the club and the games that are going on. Why are you asking about Rasmus Højlund? Like,
speaking of Rashford, he's just scored 2 tonight, by the way. So that's 10 goal involvements. Olympiacos, so they're winning 6-1, or they've won 6-1, I think.
Is that Marinakis' other team?
Olympiacos. Yes, yeah. Sure, another manager would be getting sacked, and that's another job for him to do the interim in. You know what? I watched West Ham, speaking about them.
What a shite team that is at the minute.
Oh my goodness me. I couldn't. That was if there's one game that I will never ever go back and watch, it'll be that one. They are dog shit.
Yeah.
So bad in every department. It makes me feel better about United. Like, we are way better than them. And we play them, I think, soon.
At least we won't finish 20th because they are.
Yeah, there's no chance. They're terrible, absolutely dog shit. So, yeah. I mean, the only reason why I wouldn't want them to go down is because Wan-Bissaka's there, and I like Wan-Bissaka. But apart from that, they were so bad. So if I'm Xerxes now and watching that, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going there.
I'm not going there. That Juve, their defender, I think he's good. I think he's a good player.
Oh, I like him. Yeah, I like him. Pick up. He's the only one.
If we go down, if they go down, we'll take him.
I mean, Bowen, Juve, Paqueta. There's a couple of names there that are decent, but for the majority of the team, they're absolutely.
There's nobody like stunning, is there? Where you're like, yes, that guy is a star. Like the last start they had is Kudus, and he's gone to Spurs because he realised he's going to hide into nowhere being at West Ham. I'm sorry, because one of my mates, Arthur, is a West Ham fan, and I'm sorry, lad, because it must be fucking miserable to be a West Ham fan right now.
Well,
they're terrible. Fucking terrible. They don't like the stadium. Like, they hate the stadium and stuff.
Do you really the atmosphere there? Yeah, I know we're not in the stadium.
Wasn't it? There was loads of empty seats. Like,
you couldn't hear anything. It was
There's nobody there.
You could hear a penny drop. It was shit. Yeah.
Like, so it must be shit for the players. Do you know what I mean? Show up and there's hardly anybody in the crowd, and they're just not making any noise.
And to think they finished 2 points behind us last season, I think it was something like that. So, we can't be near them again with how bad they are. Surely not. Top half finish.
Hope not.
Let's see. Right. Appreciate you all watching Unfiltered live. If you've appreciated the show, please do leave a like on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel. And even if you're watching this later on, which I know some people do, get involved in the comment section and let us know your opinions on the topics that we've covered. We will be back probably next with the Brighton preview as we play them on the weekend. I will not be available for that game on the weekend, but I'm sure Shreyas or Sam can speak about it at some point. And drop us a follow on socials for all reaction to the Liverpool game still coming out, kind of former legends and stuff speaking on it. We've got some. Obviously, we'll have pre-match presser quotes from Ruben Amorim when he does his kind of thingy for Brighton. So, keep up to date with all your news fix on United. Thank you to everyone for watching, and me and Sam will see you guys in the next one.